Hello everyone! Hi everyone, how y'all doing tonight? So, I recently released a video on my YouTube channel titled Him or Her. Freddie LaChance, thank you so much for the follow, I really appreciate it. I recently released a video on my YouTube channel called Him or Her. It is a video as part of a series I'm making called Inner Thoughts, and so I thought I would just talk about it. So I'm gonna just talk about it here. So let me see if I can capture this properly. Seems like window capture isn't working. Let me see. Alright, hold on, give me a second. Okay, so I'm just going to share my entire screen. Okay, so display capture. Here we are. So here's just my display, and we're going to go through the video, and we're just going to talk about it. So, first of all, I kind of wanted to directly state what this video is about. That's my stats. Yeah, I know. Hold on. Twitch stats. Here we are. Just so I can see my viewer count here. Yeah, I know. OBS, I get it. Alright, who just followed? I didn't see. Hold on. I'm trying to get used to streaming. Honeybees, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Or Honeybee X, thank you so much for the follow. I was trying to get used to recording or streaming my entire desktop and streaming Adobe Premiere. I've never done this before. So this video was part of my Inner Thoughts series, and it is about feelings that I've had for a very long time that I can only assume, I can't directly state because I don't know if I've ever had a therapist officially classify it as such, and I'm afraid of what if it's not, but I'm just gonna assume that it's gender dysphoria, and that's something that I've had to deal with, just questioning my gender for a very long time. So this video is sort of just expressing those feelings about that. So let's just go through the video, and here's the timeline for it. Very sort of simple, but there's a lot of things on each layer. So the music is Self-Esteem Fund. Here, I'll just let this first part play out. So the music here is Self-Esteem Fund from Portal, which is a song that I've known for, and I've thought of for a very long time, because to me it kind of is a song that is just depression in song form. Also, all the backgrounds here are like backgrounds I got from an audio library, and they're just modified, so like this is what the original looked like, and I just modified it to look like this. And so I picked that song to sort of symbolize floating just sort of floating within your thoughts in a way. And then like I have like these chromatic aberration effects on each song. I have just the text is different because one, I thought it looked cooler and was more it was more expressive. But I think this is the most impactful line from the whole video, which is, who are you? Why can't you answer? Are you who you want to be, or do you want to be someone else? Also, I only realized after editing, but the different colors in this chromatic aberration are kind of a good way to introduce three sort of different voices that you have here. So it morph cuts. This is a morph cut, and it just morphs into what I'd like. I'm just gonna call them by their colors. So this first one I'm just gonna call orange. They sort of represent three different lines of thing. Each of the colors represent three different lines. Each of the colors represent a line of thinking that have sort of just smushed into one specific voice. And so, orange is sort of the thoughts of, accepting these thoughts, accepting that they're valid, and accepting that maybe I want to be someone else. So that's what, this is really interesting. Thank you. I'm glad you found this interesting. But orange is just sort of like all those thoughts of like accepting who you are and like realizing these thoughts are valid and accepting them, smushed into just one voice. So let's play out. Okay, so... And also, I just wanted to say orange is like a color that just represents change. So, it's like acceptance and like warmth and change is what orange sort of means. But like... It's like, are you really him or do you want to be her? I think it's kind of obvious what the him or her metaphor is. Basically, right now, I mostly go by... Like, my pronouns are technically he, they, but it's like, do I want to keep that as him? Do I want to continue existing as a guy? Or do I want to be her? Which means, basically saying that, hey, I'm trans, and then transitioning and, becoming a woman and doing the whole she, her, and, changing my pronouns to she, her, probably she, they. But that was what the whole he or her thing is about. And then there's how many times have you wished to be her? How many times do you wish to wake up as her? That was, again, that's self-explanatory, but it's like, there are quite a few times that I've just, it's like, hey, wouldn't it be cool? Because, there was like those videos of people like transforming, like their body transforming into a different gender on the internet. So it's like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if that happened to you just randomly and your body transformed into exactly the body that you want, or you woke up as like a woman and that was the body that you had. What if that happened? Wouldn't that be cool? That's what these lines sort of mean. Again, it's very direct, sort of, from my thoughts. It's me writing down my thoughts and, like, writing them down as, like, tangible text. How many times do you keep asking yourself who you are? Basically, how many times have you questioned yourself and, is this who you want to be? You are her, basically meaning that you're basically saying... If you're questioning yourself so much that you're just trans, you need to accept it, is sort of what it means here. I'm explaining each line, and I hope that's fine. Also, I wanted to state real quick that I'm kind of just overwhelmed by the positive response to this video. Thank you all so much for the really kind words surrounding it. I really appreciate it. Also, a lot of people like related to this video really hard. And I figured it would be relatable, but I didn't expect people to, like, relate this hard and say, like, I got a few comments that were, like, this is, like, I'm, like, comments that said, like, I'm trans, and, like, this is exactly sort of this is exactly the kind of thoughts that I've had, or this is exactly what I've gone through. So, I did not expect people to relate to this video this hard, but I am glad that it is in fact relatable. So this, let me just show you what the original blue this is the original blue background. Again, all these are just from like a stock graphics website, and then I just put a bunch of effects on it, and like Gaussian blur and levels, and made it look like this, because blue is sort of just meant to be, in fact, hold on, let me turn off my display. I'm gonna open up the script that I have for this video. So, this is the script that I have for the video right here. This is the text file that I wrote everything out in. So, the opposite of orange. Blue is the opposite of orange. That's why I picked blue for the second color. Blue sort of represents staying the same, but it basically represents uncertainty. You know, like, basically just casting doubt onto everything and questioning it. It's like maybe you shouldn't do this, but in a sort of concerning sort of way, like your worries and concerns about everything, in an effort to basically say you should stay the same, it's safer this way. But is this what you want? You know, so let's play out. Whoa, okay. Everybody knows he was him? Wait, that did not appear in the final edit, so let me just go to the script here. But is this what you want? Are you really unhappy with being him? Everybody knows you as him. You don't hate being him. It doesn't hurt you to be him. Why would you give that up? Why would you give up him? So the music for this was, hold on. Let me turn off my display. Hold on, give me a second. Alright, hold on. The music for this is Calm from Amori. And this is, you know, supposed to be... I like the Amori soundtrack a lot, so I picked music from that. But this is supposed to be very deliberate. The music is supposed to be very deliberative. But it's like... You know, I've thought about it a lot. It's like, oh yeah, you know, I'd rather... You know, I'd rather be a woman. But at the same time, I don't hate being a guy. Because I've seen online that there are quite a few trans women online that have had experiences where it's like the thought of being a guy or being recognized as a guy brings them pain, and that just doesn't happen for me. Like, it's like the idea of being a woman is attractive to me. You know, that's something that sounds great, but at the same time, I don't hate being a guy. I don't hate my current gender. Like, it's like this, I have this big desire, but I don't have, and all these thoughts. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but you're not unhappy being a guy. Like, you want to be a woman, but you're fine with being a guy. And that's one of the big conflicts within this. And it's like, everyone knows you as him, you don't hate being him. So everyone knows you as him, it's like, yeah, because everyone knows me as a guy. You know, everyone knows my voice. Why would you give that up? Why would you give up being him? So it's like, you know, you're happy being him. Why would you give that up? Okay, this looks to be fine. Okay, so let's move on to the third thing here. Okay, so the music here is a Mori something. Oh, and the music in Orange is like, what is the, I forgot the exact name of it. Um, the Forest Temple from Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, but I basically just slowed it down a lot and put a reverb on it. I think the end result was sounded really nice. But like here it's like red is like thoughts that are just really hateful towards myself, like self-hatred, self-doubt, just hatred for myself. And so these are the thoughts that are compared to blue. Blue is just like, yeah, but like, do you really want this? It's like just a bunch of doubts. Red is like thoughts that are just actively negative and hurtful towards myself. So that's sort of what red is. And then I picked something, and here's what the original background looks like. It looks a lot different. Whoa, look at that. That looks a lot different. 1, 2, there's a glitch effect, there's Lumentary color, and then there's levels, and that makes it look a lot different, doesn't it? But red is just color. So it's like you hate yourself. You'll never be her even if you want to. You hate yourself. You look terrible. You hate yourself. What makes you think you can pass as her? Because the thing is, for me, is that if I decide to live my life as a woman, then it's like, I want to pass. I want the average person to think. I want to pass among the average person. Passing among the average person, especially among other women, would be something that I would deeply care about. And, I really dislike my appearance. I think not only do I look too masculine, but, I feel like I'm too masculine, and it's like, I just hate my body a lot. I hate my weight. I hate my body. It's just something that already has happened, and now it's holding me back in terms. And now it's like, it's one of those things. What makes you think you can be her? It's sort of in the same line as that. And then it goes right back into blue here, who is. I'll just let this section play out. Okay, so it goes from like red, who's like openly hateful or stuff, like you can't be her, you look terrible, you hate yourself, you can't do any of that, and then blue's like halfway concurring, but like saying like, yeah, you can't be her, but you can be as him, but you can stay as him and look good. You can look good, just not as her. You can look good as him. You can be handsome. Even though, it's like, I don't want to be handsome. I want to be cute and beautiful. But it's like, oh, but you can't do that. You can't do those things, but you can look handsome. But as her, you don't know. Basically, yeah. It's like, yeah, you can look good as him, as a guy. But if you hypothetically transitioned, then you don't know if you'd get the result that you want if you look good. So therefore, that line right there really defines what blue is. It's like just keep on the status quo. It's safe this way. And then back to orange. Oop. Hold on, let me go back here. Okay, so it's like, yeah, but you know, others have done it. Others have made, in your shoes, have made the transition. And, you know, you're not going to be alone. There will be people who can help you and that can provide, and there are resources. And, you know, there are people who are like you and that who are in your shoes, so you're not alone. And then, you know, you're never alone. You have people who care about you, and you can, if so many others have done it, you can do it. And that, you know, it's just gonna be okay. Right back into blue. It's like a conversation between orange and blue. But let me here's the next part. Okay, so this is a meaty one. But are you really like them? Do you deserve to be her? Or are you faking it? This one is sort of about the idea. It's like, yeah, but it's like, are you really, like, you think you might be trans, but are you really, like, are your struggles really that similar to other trans people? Or, like, are you just faking it? Like, do you deserve to be her? Or are you just faking it, you know? It's like, what if this is sexual? Which is something that I've struggled with. It's like, yeah, you might be a woman, but what if it's just like, I think they call it like autogynephilia or something like that? Where it's just like, what if this is just something that's sexual to you? You know? What if this is like a fetish thing or like a sexual thing and it isn't actually something that you want for your life? Do you really understand yourself? Do you understand the differences? Do you understand, yourself on that deep of a level? And is this what you really want? Is it? Or are you just confused on what these feelings are? It's like, you can be like her, but you can be like him. Basically, pointing the idea of like, stay as a guy, but have a more feminine, but work towards having a little bit more feminine presentation. So therefore, you can be a guy, but you don't have to be him. You don't have to be her. And then it sort of fades into red again, and I'll just let that play out. Okay, so we're actually just blazing through this. But by the way, if anyone has any questions regarding this video, feel free to just ask, and I'll do my best to answer. But it's basically like a more aggressive version of Blue. It's like you're faking it. All of their struggles, all they face, you're faking it. It's like you're devaluing. It's like, are you actually trans? Are you actually a real trans person? Or are you just pretending? Are you just pretending that your struggles are anything like other trans people? And that you're just devaluing trans people and that you're faking it. And it's like, you'll never be her. You don't even want to be her. Which again is funny, the idea. You don't know that it's not sexual. You're faking it. It says it 3 times just to really drive in that point. And then back to orange. I mean, at some points I do feel like with this video that I gave too much attention to red and blue. I didn't give much attention to orange. But, it is just a lot of doubts in my head, you know. Alright, so it's like you're not faking it, what you're feeling is real. What inspired you to make this channel? Well, the original Inner Thoughts was originally its own channel, and then I later decided to just upload it to my own channel, to youtube.com/Retroity. But what inspired the series was just like, I had, honestly, the big inspiration for like these text-heavy videos, that were like the text is almost speaking you, as much as I hate to say it, is a horror YouTube channel called Tribe 12. The creator of Tribe 12 turns out is a piece of shit, and shouldn't be supported. Fuck him. But the videos that he made, I followed him for 12 years, and turns out he's a piece of shit. But anyway, some of those videos were really, really good and sort of inspiring to do stuff like this. And so I decided to just make videos where it's like thoughts in my head, sort of like presented as like an actual visual thing. Where it's like it's really sort of communicating these thoughts in my head. And again, to be absolutely clear, for those that are not, who weren't here when I said this initially, this video is quite plainly about feelings that I have that are about gender dysphoria. It's not about, like, you know, some people have interpreted it as, you know, about someone, but it's not. It's about who I want to be. But it's like, you want to be her, you're not faking it. You are like them, even if you think you aren't. And they will understand. They will help you, they will help you. Which is basically about, over time, I've sort of browsed, like, different, like trans forums, like the Ask Transgender subreddit. And I found that, you know, a lot of trans spaces, people are really welcoming and, like, really helpful to people that are questioning. So it's like, that's a good sign of, like, hey, if you decide to do anything, you know, other trans people will probably be pretty accepting of you and will probably try to help you out with this. And, you know, ever since I released this video, people have been really, you know, welcome, have been, like, really, really nice and, you know, offering to talk. To be clear, this video is not a coming out video, because I don't identify as trans yet. Like, at the moment, at least right now, I'm still cis. But, you know, I'm questioning, and this video is about that. It's about questioning. If I do ever, like, properly come out, if I do ever, like, decide finally on who I am and come out as that, I will probably just make, like, a blog post on my YouTube channel, like a blog post on my website, like what I did when I came out as bisexual. But yeah, like, a lot of trans spaces, a lot of trans people are really nice to people who are new or people who are questioning, and just really accepting and really willing to help. People care about you. Everyone will come and understand. This is less about these two lines are less about other trans people, and more just, like, about people in my life. That people care about you, and that eventually everyone in your life will come to understand. And then we go back to Blue. It's very interesting to see your POV on things this way. Like, you can talk about your thoughts and stuff, but the way the videos are made just hits differently. Yeah, that's kind of the point of the video, because it's like, I can talk about my feelings, but when I have the abilities of a video editor, and I can, like, you know, put visuals and audio together in this little package, I can, like, through that, I can sort of convey my thoughts a lot more accurately. Because this is kind of how, with these backgrounds and with the audio and stuff like that, it is kind of representative of how these thoughts act, how they are, how they behave, so to speak, in my head. And so it's just, I just find it's a really, really effective way of getting what my thoughts are across. Anyway, so then after going to orange, it goes to blue, so I'll just let that part play out. And after that, we're heading towards the sort of the end of the video. Okay, so this is certainly something, and we're going to talk about this in a second. But let's talk about blue here. What blue said here for a second. So they know you. This is about this is not about other trans people, but rather about just people in general, like friends, family, people in life. And so it's like, you know you for you. They know you for you. They know you as him. Why would you take that away from them? Like, why, if you changed, if you transitioned, they know you as the old you, and yet they're taking as him, and it's the old you, so to speak, and yet you're just taking that away from them. In a way, it's, basically implying that that's selfish. And that is, there's a lot to unpack with this, what I meant with this. But it's like, is it worth it? Is it worth helping them understand? Is it worth their conflictions? But is it worth it? That line specifically is more about if you, come out, and if you decide that you're trans, if you decide that you are trans, if you decide to transition, it's not going to be easy. It's, physically, medically, and socially, and just, in terms of like socially and presentation wise and medically, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be an easy process. It's like, is all of this worth it? Is it really worth it? And is it worth helping them understand, all of your, everyone in your life understand, is it worth their conflictions about it? Okay, so now we get to red. And this time red is basically more aggressive, and that's kind of why I changed the background here. So this time we have an additional glitch effect. Oop, hold on. Hey, Natty, thank you so much for the resub. Sorry, I didn't have my my alert on top. But yeah, thank you so much for the resub. Loving the director's commentary so far. Thank you. I'm really glad you like it. But here, I'm just going to let this part play out, and then we can talk about it. Okay, so this is probably red, then like the next like 2 segments with red are really dark and like touch on like transphobia and stuff like that. So if you are sensitive to that, like if discussion of that affects you, and I don't know if you've watched the original video, but just be aware of that. And this, because the next 2 red segments are like the harshest parts of the video. It's like, they will never accept you. You'll be a freak to them. Which is like, they're not going to accept, which is self-explanatory. They're not going to accept you. Then they're going to think that you're some sort of, freak or whatever. It's like, what has been said about people like who you want to be. And this is just about transphobia and about, the fact that a lot of within a lot of conservative movements, and also even within actually quite a few like feminist spaces, and like things like that. You know, there has been, and just in general, there's been a lot of demonization of trans people. Like you probably have heard about, like, in America, like what the stance, a lot of the anti-trans bills that have been, that, you know, American states are trying to pass. You know, a lot of the just blatant transphobia, and that's what that's about. The things said, and here it's like, this is not unlike everything else, which is like a morph cut. This is like just, it's basic. Orange is basically cutting off red here. So orange says they are lies, and then red immediately cuts off orange again. Alright, here's like here's like the final, like, long, properly long red part. So this is like a really big worry of mine. It's like, but people believe these lies. It's like they're lies. Like, Red acknowledges that they are lies, and because it's like, there's no doubt in my mind. There's not a single doubt that all this transphobic stuff is bullshit. But it's like, even if they are lies, people believe them. And it's like, you know, everyone's gonna hate you, and then, like, you know, you're gonna lose. Like, that basically, here Red is arguing that that the coming out and that starting the transition would be a mistake. That's why it says you'll lose everything: your parents, your family. Parents and family in particular is because my parents and a lot of my family is quite conservative. You know, I'm very happy that my parents, I came out to my parents a while back as bisexual, and, you know, I'm happy that they are very accepting. But it's like, much of the country, even among conservatives at the very least, are like accepting of, like, you know, like tolerant of, you know, gay people and lesbians and bisexual people and pan people and stuff like that. But it's like, you know, trans people, that's a whole nother different thing. Because even a lot of, like, conservative types that are accepting of, like, other trans people will straight up demonize, that are acceptive of other LGBT people, like, you know, people like that are, you know, really hateful towards trans people. And it's like, you know, you don't know how others would react to you being trans. And granted, your job opportunities, in hindsight, it's like, yeah, that Supreme Court ruling that creates, like, discrimination laws, but it's like, it creates, you know, discrimination protections, but it's still like the general thing of, like, you're gonna lose everything and that people aren't gonna accept you if you do that. And that's straight up just the fucking darkest part of the video. And I wanted that to be tough, and because, again, this is about my thoughts, and it's brutally honest about what my thoughts are. I'm not holding back on what they are, because they're mine. And I feel like if I self-censored to make this less you know, harsh, it wouldn't, you know, in hindsight, I probably should have put a content warning on it, like, in the video itself, although I did put one in the description of the video. But it's like, you know, I didn't want to, like, self-censor or be like, this is too harsh, I'm gonna cut back. Because it's like, you know, if I show what I'm actually, what my thoughts that are hateful towards myself are actually thinking, or basically what they're thinking, then that makes it a lot more relatable. Because it's like, a lot of people can say, you know, those are thoughts that are hateful towards myself that I have experienced. And also, this is personal to me. This is what I've, you know, struggled with. And then orange challenges it. then it just sort of, you have this section here where a lot, towards the end of the video, where a lot of the, you know, different lines of thinking argue with each other, so I'm just going to let that play out. So, it's like they won't recognize you. Like, if you changed, you'd so radically change that you'd just be unrecognizable, and a lot of people wouldn't know you as you. Because, like, even if you change who you are still you, if that makes sense. And it's like, they will respect you. They will, you know, respect you and your identity, and also, you know, understand. And then Red says something that I probably should have touched on a bit more, which is that it's like the idea that it's like, you know, it's you're past the prime time to transition, or that it's too late, that it's already too late to do anything, to get the results that you want. And Orange says, no, it isn't, basically on the idea that, you know, it's sort of touching on the idea that any time is a good time to transition. You know, that the idea that it's like the best time to transition is, you know, when you're young, but that the next best time is just now. And then all of them sort of just say the same thing. That's like, why are you so indecisive? That the more you are indecisive, the more that you are hurting yourself. And then I had like a very similar ending in terms of audio in the last video, and it's just, who are you? Sort of just, you know, touching on the theme of the last video. But yeah, that is Inner Thoughts, him or her. So, you know, let me know. You know, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them. You know, I know a couple people have asked questions, but just if anyone has any questions or anything to say, then just let me know. I'll sit in the chat I'll sit here for just another minute or so. So, you know, if you have any questions, let me know. And yeah, but that's Inner Thoughts. And again, I was blown away by how the response to the video, how positive it was, because I was really nervous about posting it because it was something I'd never talked about like openly before. And also, you know, it was something that's just, you know, I've never talked about openly before, and that's tough for me. Retroity is amazing. I can pay your thoughts to this piece of work. No matter who you decide to be, I'm there for you, and I'm proud of you. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Let's see, what is this? I got a notification on Twitter. Oh, okay, someone retweeted that video. Where did you get the sound from, like the background noise in the video? Okay, so the songs are, the song at the beginning, this thing. This is, what's it called? It is, Self-Esteem Fund from Portal. And then this song here that Orange uses is Forest Temple, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, just slowed down and with reverb added. And then, you know, this song here is unedited. The next two songs are unedited. This song is Something from Amori. Or no, that's not Something. It's Calm from Amori. This is Something from Amori. Amori has a great soundtrack. And then the ending here, the sound for this is just like just ambience I recorded on my microphone, and just ambience on, and then just like that, and like a just a solid tone that made an Audacity. Hell yeah! See. Hey, Juice. Hey, Scully. I see y'all posting some trans flags. Hell yeah, trans. Regardless of whoever I decide to be, trans rights forever and always. Trans rights. But yeah, that's really all there is to. Yeah, anyone has any? I mean, with I mean, the reason I picked. I was like looking through like video game soundtracks to find stuff to use, because I typically go for video game soundtracks for things like these, and it's like Amori just has a lot of great songs that lend itself, that like songs and tracks that just lend themselves well to stuff like this. You know, like Calm is like absolutely perfect here. And so is Something. Something is perfect for red. And then Calm is perfect for blue. I do kind of wish, one of the things that I kind of wish I did is I wish I'd had a little bit more of like opening here, which is just black. Because black is sort of just like the this part here is just sort of like, because all the other backgrounds represent something, right? This is just like just floating around in your mind, just like thinking. Which is why in the first video, if I can find it, the background here is just like just back of like these super edited like puddle background. I'd love to see a video with the soundtrack of the Amori versus the Amori versus Amori fight. Oh, you mean the Sunny versus Amori fight? The piano and violin just hits so hard. Yeah, I mean, I probably could. I probably could honestly use that for something, although it'd probably be a more intense one. I don't know if I'm gonna make in Inner Thoughts as intense and as long as this one for a while. The next one, because the more Inner Thoughts isn't just sad thoughts. It isn't just me sad posting. It's like just thoughts in my head. So like there might be some more positive ones, and there is one that I want to make. So I'll probably do that here soon, like whenever I get around to it. And yeah, I posted a while back like some themes I wanted to hit on in future episodes on my private account. But yeah, I was watching an Amori No Comment stream, and hearing that soundtrack while thinking about my own stuff literally made me cry. The Amori soundtrack is just beautiful. It's so good. There's just so much good stuff in the soundtrack, and it's just like, you know, that scene, that montage scene, with like the piano and the not the fight, but like where it's playing the piano and the violin and the piano playing together. That was so good, and it just I streamed it, and I literally cried. You can probably find the clip of me crying to that scene on stream. God, I fucking love Amori. Speaking of, by the way, I'm probably going to I want to learn the Amori duet and piano so badly. It's so good. And I want to, you know what? It kind of makes me want to learn the piano, because I actually don't know any instruments. So I'd love to, you know, learn like the piano or the guitar or something like that. That'd be cool. Because I'm not good at music and I'm not good at art. I am half decent at editing though, so there's that. But I was gonna say for Mori, I'm probably in like January going to. Piano is a great start for an instrument. Okay, that's kind of what I've heard. So I'll probably go with piano when I decide if I decide to learn. Um, but I'm gonna stream Amori in again. I'm gonna do a second playthrough in January because there's a whole nother route you can do, and I'm gonna do that like probably in January because January is basically the 1 year I started. Basically, I'm gonna do it around the 1 year anniversary of when I started my first Amori playthrough. So be on lookout for that second Amori playthrough whenever that does happen. Again, next January. That'll be pretty cool. But yeah, again, it's like and again, the song for the first one, the song for First Inner Thoughts, this is also Amori. I use a lot of them. I've done 2 episodes, but I've only used two. I've used so many Amori songs, you know. So, and this actually edited faster. This came together faster than I thought it would. I thought this would take more time. But in the end, probably just took like. I spent like. This video probably took like 6-7 hours to put together. All in all, like probably like 2 hours from writing and then like 4 hours of actually editing this together. This video did not actually take that long to edit, which surprised me because I thought this would take longer. But this came together, and for how quickly this took me to edit, it came together really nicely. But yeah, and again, if anyone has any further questions about this video or about just anything, let me know. Or otherwise, I'll just go ahead and end the stream. Yeah, just if you have any questions, just let me know. But let's see. I do kind of wish this effect was done a little bit better. Also, I wish I could kind of tell you that the chromatic aberration effect here in the Black Proto stream, I wish I could tell you this has any specific meaning, but again, it's just I thought it looked cool. I thought it added more visual flair. So, Also, the colors of the text here doesn't really have any specific meaning. It's just colors that I thought for each would go well. So the green back here for the text goes well with blue. Purple goes well with orange, and then blue goes well. This dark blue goes well with red. Like this really dark. There's like this harsh shade of blue goes well with the red. But yeah. And if anyone doesn't have any questions, I'll just go ahead and end the stream because that's pretty much all I have to say about it. But yeah, and again, I hope that gives a little bit more insight into this video that I released, and I'll probably do more inner thoughts soon. Although I'm probably gonna just take a break from it for a little bit, even though I've only done 2 episodes. But it'll be a little while before the next one. and I do enjoy. It because I kind of thought, oh, this is gonna be a project that I'm gonna start and I'm gonna abandon, but I've actually been quite enjoying Inner Thoughts, like making these so far. It does feel like I'm getting something out of it, and that people are enjoying them. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream now. So let's see, is anyone else streaming at the moment that I can send? Any small streamers? Oh yeah, Sean is streaming. Yeah. Guys. Stay around. Stick around for like. I'm gonna send you guys over to Seanster, okay? My good friend Seanster, he's streaming Deltarune Chapter 2 right now. Please, I'm asking you, please, tell him that I said hi. Like, just show him some love. Go follow him, and check him out and give him a shot. He's a great streamer. He's fantastic. His voice is great, and he's also a great friend. So yeah, say hi to Seanster for me, guys. But yeah, I will see you all later. Bye, everyone. Bye.